here's another ugly beauty topic to talk about. I will, so you don't have to. So I overly sweat, and no, it's not from living in Thailand. I obviously was born in South Africa, and as a baby, my mum had gone to the doctor to see how they could control it, work on it, I don't know what you want to call it. And then in England, I tried many different treatments, from homeopathic medicines to like roll-ons where they like burn your underarm, and then got put on the waiting list to have hyperhidrosis. And then the UK NHS changed all the ruling, and you couldn't get hyperhidrosis anymore on NHS, and the cost was insane. The other option was then to have surgery to obviously have like your sweat glands removed, but it sounds invasive and just not something that I wanted to do. Jump forward, moved to Thailand, and obviously treatment is a little bit cheaper here, but it's still something I've put off because I say it's cheaper, but it's still around £300, 18,000 baht £300 to £400 to get it done, and it only lasts like 6 to 12 months depending on how much you sweat and depending on your need for it. I then tried some other treatments, which was called ion toe. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, where they basically like use I can't call it a laser, but it is almost like sparking your underarm, right, to try and reduce it. And I've had laser hair removal, and that has helped, but that laser sparking thing still didn't help. So today I took the plunge and had hyperhidrosis, which for anyone is basically Botox in your underarms. I won't show you my armpits because I don't think everyone wants to see your armpits, but they had to inject 100 units, so 50 in each arm. I'm not allowed to wear deodorant for 2 days. I'm not allowed to be in hot situations for 2 weeks, which again is very difficult living in Thailand. So, but they were trying to say like sunbathing or saunas and no hot showers, which, if you know me, that's the most ironic thing they could have said. That's the thing that scares me more than like not being able to sit out in the sun. And then they did this test before. I really can't remember the name. I'm gonna have to remember the name. It's like an iodine test to see how much I sweat. And the guy was like, yeah, this is more than I've ever seen in my whole career. I was like, oh, great, yep, do nothing by halves. So he reckons this might only last me 4 to 6 months, which even still would make a massive difference. He's asked if I can come back in 2 weeks' time for a follow-up so they can do another iodine test and see how effective it's been. We're actually going to be away, so I'm going back in 6 weeks to do the iodine test, and we'll see from there. He still does recommend doing more of that laser probing thing, but he said you have to do like 3 treatments a week for the first 2 weeks to actually be effective, which he's the first person that's told me that. And he said, especially for your level of sweatiness, which was very polite of him. And then he said, and then you would have to follow up like every 2 weeks, then go to every month, then go to like every 6 months, but it's a lifelong commitment. So I suppose it's weighing up the commitment to a geographical location and the cost of having to maintain that versus having the Botox on your underarms every like 4 to 6 months. There's also different levels of Botox you can pay for. So the one I've got is a Hong Kong one, which he's saying is the 4 to 6 months. Whereas I know there's other ones that can last like 12 to 18 months, but it's obviously more expensive. So I will keep you posted on how it goes, but that's the wonderful adventures of my armpits.